I'm here again today with Michael Pierce of MichaelsHealthAnswers.ca. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Agnes.
Michael, you were a chef for 20 plus years, and now you promote good health as your mainstay of your business. What is the one thing you think people should cut out of their diet immediately, and why?
That is a very good question, Agnes. And really, for me, it starts with my own journey back to health. I was probably about 29 or 30 years old. And I don't know why I did this. I certainly didn't have anybody told me, nobody suggested it. But I made a decision in my late 20s, early 30s that I was going to stop drinking carbonated beverages and fountain pop at work. It was always free to the employees, so I asked my employer if it was okay if I drank juice out of the stock. And he said that was okay as long as it was only a glass a day and I wasn't drinking them out of house and home, because of course he had to pay for all this stuff and it came out of his food cost. So what I'm going to cover today is what I call the three big killers and why I think that you should completely eliminate these three items from your diet. So as I've said, the first thing I changed and the first thing I believe others should change is pop. Carbonated beverages are not good for you. The simple syrup isn't good for you. The carbonated part isn't good for you. Really, it's just all bad idea. Certainly not good for your health. None of us need complicated sugars, syrups, colors, dyes, any of these additives in our food. None of these things are natural, none of these things are beneficial, and certainly none of them are required in a healthy diet. You can keep drinking pop if you want, but I guarantee you're going to gain a pound a year for the rest of your life, maybe a pound a month. It's my experience. It was one of the things I did to start turning my body around and moving in the right direction because I wasn't healthy with how big I was. The second thing I really think that everybody should cut out, and it was probably the biggest health mistake I made for most of my life, but it turns out that deep frying canola is really bad for your health. All deep fryers at restaurants, they used to use beef fat, and beef fat, it turns out, is a better frying medium for your health than canola. Two problems with canola is, first of all, canola is a genetically modified organism. The grape seed was bred with the corn to create canola, as we know. And in 1960, it was the first sold produced genetic seed stock anywhere in North America. So first of all, if you're conscious about the quality of your food and you want to avoid genetically modified organisms, you're going to have to cut canola oil out of your diet. It is doubly bad when you heat the canola oil up and fry it because the molecules change their consistency and their food value when they're heated up. So the third thing that everybody should look at in their diet is processed meats. I'm not saying you have to cut every single type of processed meat out of your life. I love double smoked pepperoni. It's one of those things. I like it. I'm going to keep eating it. But I'm not going to eat a pound at a time. I'm not going to have the cheap stuff that has 30-40% fat. The third healthy recommendation I recommend, that's a bit redundant, but really this is important. When you're buying your processed meat products, look at the label. There are some products out there that have as little as 12% fat in it. Most have 17 or 18, some have 35, 40. I've seen as much as 54% fat. Could you imagine? Consciously and aware of putting something in your body that was more than half bad and negative filler fat? Why would you do that to yourself? So really, flip that package over, look at the label. What you're looking for is 12 to 18% meat fat in your processed foods. Anything more than that, you're doing long-term damage to your health. So let's look at that again. The three things are carbonated beverages of any kind, anything deep fried in canola, and any processed meat that contains more than 18% fat. All these things, if eliminated from your diet, will make positive changes and slowly help you improve your health.
Okay, well, I'm going to thank you for not laughing out loud as I'm sitting behind the camera here doing my happy dance because I don't consume any of those three things. So, yay. Good. That's great. That's a lot of good information, and thank you.
No problem. I'm glad I can make something clear and understandable that anybody can do for themselves to improve their health without spending a lot of money. It just requires paying attention and knowing what you're looking for.
Perfect.